Hello everybody and welcome to today's video on OpenBOM for Autodesk Fusion configured designs. Configurations is what we refer to it. Autodesk recently released configurations for Fusion. They're super powerful, but we want to approach it in a with a method that is reliable. So I'm going to take you through it here. I'm going to take a few more minutes in this one. If you're watching this video after the middle of September, excuse me, the middle of August 2024. This will already be released. Today's the 16th of August. I think we're going to release this functionality next week. So it's a bit of a sneak peek. All right, let's get started. Um, First thing I want to point out is let's just kind of take you through some of my data. I'm going to use the jack again, and I've got two designs. I've got my standard design. I've got one that's got a longer handle. Okay, very classic. I chose this because I'm going to exercise a lot of the features in Fusion configurations. And this is not a video on how to use Fusion configurations. You're going to sit down and spend some time on that yourself. But I am going to show you, I think, where the important what the important parts are. So let's start. Let's just start with the configuration dialog. You will notice that once you click it the first time, you'll get a message from Fusion saying convert this to a configured design. Once you do, your whole timeline will reset and you really won't be able to back up past that. So be thoughtful when you do that. Second, configurations. I've got a number of things in this design that are configured. One is the top level. I've got two products, one long handle, one short handle. They use a lot of the same parts. Matter of fact, they use all the same parts. I've got a handle subassembly that is built on the shop floor, but sometimes I build them in long or in short. And so those are also configured. You can see that it affects this configurations affect this subassembly. And then finally, of course, configurations affect the body, the handle itself, the same grip, but in two locations. So that's the design, the configured design. Let's take a look at a few more things though in configurations. And again, I'm not going to take you through all of this, but there's some highlights that you need to know. Number one, these are my configuration names up here. So I've created two configurations, a standard design, a long handle, and let's take a look at how I've part numbered those. It's important to know that you need to assign part numbering that will get you down to the thing that you've configured. For example, here I've got this handle in long and short. So I've got a configured handle for long and short, or long and standard. I've got a configured subassembly. It's got a part number, um, short handle. This one's got a part number long handle. And then finally, I've got my top level product or SKU, one configured with the short part number and one configured for long. So understand that we're going to be building two bombs for this, one for the short SKU and one for the long SKU. Also, I've also dove down into some of the configurable parameters in this case. I've configured the materials a little bit differently. In the case of the short handle, I'm just going to pick up the material from the parent. In case of the long handle, I'm specifying a specific aluminum, and I've done likewise for appearance. There's a number of other parameters that can be configured. All of them are supported by OpenBOM. So I've configured my design, I've configured some parameters, and I've taken the time to properly identify part numbering and descriptions for each one of the two configurations. Something else that you should know is that configurations in Fusion apply at the top level. So when I switch configurations up here, everything in my feature list switches to that configuration. So you can kind of compare that to maybe some other CAD systems where bits and pieces down in lower levels can be in different configurations. Right now, this is the control for the entire configuration of the product. I like the way that Autodesk did that. So, so we've configured our features. We've configured Autodesk's parameters and properties. And next thing to do is to build the BOM. I'm going to go over here to OpenBOM. One thing to point out is if you're using OpenBOM Quick Start, you'll need to switch to Advanced because configurations are only supported in OpenBOM Advanced mode. So go into Settings, switch to Advanced mode. I'm going to build the BOM for the standard design first, and let's just go ahead and run it. This is just like OpenBOM in every other way. Okay, and let this run for just a moment. All right, all the thumbnails are created. And here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a little larger view for this. So here's our short. You can see we got the part number up here, the 3000 SKU short. I got the subassembly for the handle in short, and I got this the cap and the handle actually with the short part number. You can see that it's steel. I know the configuration name came through right here. It's standard. I can see the length there is 420. So that's fine. I'll tell you I took the liberty of running the long one right before I started this recording. Here's what long looks like. We've got the high level uh, part number, SKU long. I've got a subassembly also in long configuration. I've got the cap in the same configurations. It's reused, and I've got the long handle part number on that, and you can see it's now aluminum, and its length is 600. So to close on that, what you'll the process is go ahead and switch your design to configured. Keep in mind that that can't be undone in Fusion. Create a couple of configurations using the configuration table, and then configure a few parameters or whatever it is that's important to your design. And make sure that each one of those configurations, anything configured in there, has its own part numbers. So be thoughtful about this. This is important to your company. And then finally, if you're configuring materials or appearances or visibility or anything else, you can go ahead and configure that, and that'll show up in the BOM, as we saw. So apologize for the length of this video. It's a little bit longer than normal. But we'll be releasing this last week in August 2024, maybe or sooner. And if you have any questions on this, please follow up at support@openbom.com. Thanks.